Hi, young agents. My name is Victoria and I hope you're having a great day. Today we're gonna be talking about the case of Jennifer Schuett. In 1990, 8-year-old Jennifer was assaulted and left for dead in a field over a mound of fire ants. The little girl laid there for more than half a day before she was discovered. Her throat was slit and she couldn't speak at the time. But through sheer resilience and willpower, Jennifer not only got her voice back, but she also fully recovered and worked for close to 2 decades to put her attacker behind bars. Like most kids, Jennifer was enjoying her summer break during August 1990. She lived with her mother, a single mom, and looked forward to starting 3rd grade at elementary school in Texas. The 8-year-old, who always slept in her mother's bed, was asked to sleep in her own bed that night. So Jennifer did. But what happened to her next was almost inconceivable. Sometime during the night on August 9, a man entered her bedroom through the window and took her.
The next thing I remember was waking up in the arms of a man that I didn't know. He was running with me, carrying me down the sidewalk, and I immediately tried to scream, but he covered my nose and mouth.
When she woke up, he told her that he was an undercover police officer and put her in his car. After driving for a bit, he stopped in the parking lot of her school. When he offered her candy, she refused. Jennifer knew that things weren't adding up. He told her that her mother would come to pick her up, but that never happened. Instead, he drove further on into a field. Her attacker held a knife to her throat, asked her if she was scared.
Then he held a knife to my throat and said, "Am I scaring you, little girl? Am I scaring you?" Then he choked me as hard as he could, and then he tried to break my neck. Blacked out for a while. I woke up to him dragging me by my ankles through this field. Dropped my legs. I heard him walk off, and I heard his car door slam and him drive away. I realized I couldn't scream, and I couldn't figure out why. I had just enough strength to throw my right hand on top of my neck, and that's when I felt this gaping wound. And I looked at my hand, and it was full of blood. I was 8 years old. I was just left to die in a field.
The man left her there thinking that she was dead. But Jennifer survived. She lay there for more than 12 hours, unable to move or scream, but she survived. She was found by children playing in the fields the next day and was airlifted to a hospital. At the scene, the police found Jen's clothing along with the man's underwear and t-shirt. The DNA evidence was too little and the authorities were limited by the technology of their time. Back at the hospital, Jennifer was told that she couldn't speak because of her injuries. She never gave up. She started writing down everything she remembered from that night, including the brand of cigarettes he smoked and his name that he told her, Dennis. She wrote the man was white, wore glasses, had a sharp knife, and had 1 or 2 green tattoos. He had a black mustache and was in his 30s. Jennifer was able to describe the man's vehicle for police. She drew a picture of a face, noting the location of the man's car. Jennifer showed police where her abductor first took her, the parking lot of her elementary school. She worked with a forensic artist to develop a composite sketch. Jennifer was discharged about 2 weeks later, and she got her voice back too. But the investigation wasn't doing so well. After a point, the leads stopped coming through, and as the years passed by, the case was handed over to different investigators, but with no results. It wasn't until 18 years later that things would change. With the technology improving, even a small amount of DNA was enough to put it in the database to look for a match. The evidence from the case was sent to the FBI lab in Virginia. In September 2009, they got a hit on the DNA. The attacker's identity had finally come to the fore. It was Dennis Bradford. He was convicted in 1997 for kidnapping and assaulting a woman, and his DNA had been in the system ever since. He was arrested in Arkansas, and he confessed to his crimes against Jennifer.
Sir, I'm Richard Grayson. How you doing?
Richard.
Tim Crowley.
From
Get that. You guys done your homework? You ever heard the name Jennifer Schuett? Yes. You ever have occasion to come in contact with her? Yes. Tell me about that. No. Do you want to talk about it? No. Is there a reason why? You did your homework. Right, we did our homework. We're full about this. People need to hear that. There's two sides to every story. A single day goes by where I don't see that big side to the story. She was an innocent. And I was a sick, deranged, beat up little punk. She wasn't anybody I met. I don't remember why I pulled up at those apartments. Walked over to this window. I remember it was open and I could see in it. What do you want? I want you to just start talking and tell me everything that you thought, everything that you did, everything that you could remember. I'm ready for this to be over. I'm sick and tired of looking over my shoulder and being afraid. Okay, forgive me, Mama. Out of that window, and I put her in my car. And she was freaking out, and I told her, please, just don't worry, it'll be all right. I told that little girl that I was a police officer. She was so scared. I just lost it. I was like a savage animal. Can't force myself to say it. I took that little girl out there and I raped her and I cut her throat. I don't know why. I've never known why. Many times I wanted to just end it. I never had the guts.
The 40-year-old would never stand trial because he killed himself while in prison in 2010. Jennifer was happy knowing that Dennis would never hurt anyone again. She was angry that he had killed himself. On the 20th anniversary of her kidnapping, Jennifer drove down to his gravesite and read her victim impact statement there. Jennifer has been using her story to help other survivors. She travels the country to share her experience and is outspoken about what happened to her. The assault on Jennifer affected her in ways more than one. She was infertile because of the attack, but a Texas doctor donated his services for her in vitro treatment twice. Jennifer has been married to Jonathan since May 2014 and they live in Lake City, Texas. They have 2 kids together. With the case finally closed, Jennifer is now a fierce advocate for other crime survivors. She remains close to those who helped her through the darkest chapter of her life. So, write down what you think about this case. If you're interested in true crime like I am, I hope that you would consider hitting that subscribe button. But either way, thanks for being here. See you in the next episode. Bye.